Hello. I'm afraid I'm talking too loud. Everyone has their favorite stand-up comedy special, but how can we compare stand-up comedy specials without the favoritism getting in the way? Hopefully like this. Welcome to the Laugh Track, where we track stats and chat facts. This week, I'll be watching Four Nights in New York City, or NYC, whatever the locals call it. It was filmed in 4 different places, including the Gutter, Midnight Theater, the Sultan Room, and the Stand. In 2023 is when this was released on YouTube, where you can still find it. This year in comedy, 2023 gave us movies such as Bottoms, Strays, and Dumb Money. Dumb Money. I thought they were all one word. It's a bad joke. TV shows from the year: Shrinking, Platonic, The Curse. And topping the highest grossing comedians of the year, we have Bert Kreischer, Dave Chappelle, and Kevin Hart. Comedic controversy of the year: Hassan Minhaj spoke his emotional truth, and the people who knew the actual truth were all like, false? And before we get to the laughs, was there an intro? Yes, there was. Kinda, sorta. Stavi's already on stage when the special starts. He's doing the old cold open joke. This is a lot like Live in Austin, where you got the cold open joke, and then you go into the intro, which is kind of like a title card montage of the comedian having fun the nights that they were recording the special. So yes, it is an intro. Yes, it's a lot like Live in Austin. The laughs start right away. Minutes 0 to 10. Stavi jumps right into it. Like I said, cold open style. And then we get into the intro. Now, I'm not counting the intro, and I'm also not counting any other time that he cuts away, which is about, I think, 7 times throughout the entire special. There are little interstitials throughout where he cuts away to either him about to go on stage or just getting off a stage, or him, like in the opening 10 minutes, we get him being like, I haven't done comedy in 3 months, while he's trying on shirts to go do comedy that night. It's a little bit meta, it's a little bit documentarian, it's a little bit fun, it's a little bit breaking the rules. It also feels a little bit like he's trying to do a 30-minute special without doing like a full 30-minute special or whatever. But, I mean, it's not like it's not a homework assignment. This wasn't, assigned to him. I think what is a pretty well hashed out story note from this special is that he was supposed to be practicing for the Fat Rascal special that was released on Netflix in 2023, same year this one came out. Hey, how about that? But instead of doing that, he used the dates that he had already lined up at these New York theaters and venues to just dick around on stage. You get a little bit of that in some of the dialogue that he has with the audience, especially at the second venue that he shows up to. But yeah, a lot of the laughs are at the beginning. He puts probably one of the laugh heaviest things up right after the intro, which is when he's talking about the 2 types of Italian fathers. That whole part gets maybe the highest laughs per second of the entire special, but there are 79 laughs total in the 10 minutes. And like I said, it was a little bit hard to track the time of this special because I had to keep on being like, all right, he cuts out 10 seconds here to talk about how the crowd sucked. All right, and then he cut out 28 seconds here and then 58 seconds here. But it's the life I lead, man, as a tracker of laughs. I take my hat off to myself. I put my hat back on. Jesus Christ, is Noah parting my... Do they have a plastic surgery for calyx? Minutes 11 to 20. Like I said, this is a crowd work special, so he's really going with the flow here. And I like how that go with the flow attitude lends itself to a refreshing viewing experience of a stand-up comedy special, where he's able to cut away in what other stand-up comedy specials would kind of feel like cheating if you were to cut out a big chunk of time. Like in another special, you would have to hide that. In this one, he's highlighting it, being like, this is later in the night. Look at this. This is actually a callback. He's forcing distance callbacks to be right next to each other so that we can enjoy them, not seeing what it was really like that night. He's giving us the best product that he can, and I really respect that as far as a fan of stand-up comedy. Because sometimes I'll admit it, I'll be like, this is different, burn the witch, sort of thing. And that's how I felt at the beginning. I was like, I'm not going to cover a crowd work special because that's not comedy. It's just, you get wrapped up in your own little pretentiousness. And I really like this stand-up comedy special. It was cool. I like how it felt a little bit like Mark Norman's post-COVID getting back out there comedy special / documentary / look at me adapting these jokes. I also really like that he jokes about a lot of different things here. He goes like really lowbrow and then he goes highbrow. Like he does jokes about the audience's sexuality, and then he does a joke about how that was hacky to make a joke about the audience's sexuality. I like how he walks the audience down like a little path, like you can almost see his brain working. And you're like, oh, surely he'd get off the exit now. He's gonna hop off the road now and jump on that. But he doesn't. He keeps on walking down the path, and then he picks up on a little detail that you wouldn't even have thought of. And one point in particular, I like that he seems like he's, like I said, to hammer this metaphor home, it seems like he's walking down the path again, but then he turns around and he runs back to the thing, and he's like, no, I'm gonna really put my finger on that. What did you mean by that? 61 laughs in this 10-minute segment. Minutes 21 to 29. We get a fun little joke here about the prostitution tourism in Aruba and the Proud Boys who take advantage of that little system there. I really like how he's directly making fun of the people to their face and telling them straight up, like, I don't like you, I don't agree with you, this is fucked up what you're doing, but everybody is laughing, including him, including the people that he's making fun of. I also really like how, like I said in the last segment, this special feels a little bit refreshing with the structure of it. How, in a normal stand-up comedy special, you're hearing one voice just monologuing at you the entire time. It's a little bit refreshing to hear dialogue, to hear conversation between a lot of people in the room. Let the voices be heard, you know what I mean? 64 laughs in this 10-minute segment. 9-minute segment, actually. Actually, let's get to the stats.
Hey, that's my job. Get away from those stats. Welcome to the stats. Starting out, as always, with the bad words, Stavros Halkias gave us 83 total bad words over the course of 4 separate nights. Leading the way from the big four is Fuck with 52, and from the eclectic bunch, Dick with 8. On to the laughs. 204 total laughs over a total time speaking of 28 minutes and 40 seconds. That leaves us with a laughs per minute of 7.12 and a laughs per second of 0.118604665.
Those were the stats, and now we compare. Well, looky there. Stavros Halkias has earned his spot on the big wall of walls. We need a name for it. I didn't think I'd see the day, though, honestly. Stavros Halkias, most laughs per second. We got Jim Jeffries Bear for the most laughs, and we have Miss Pat for the most bad words. Now, most laughs per second, to me, that's the one that's going to be the hardest to earn, to dethrone, and so far, it has proven itself to be so. New in Town had the spot first, but that was the first laugh track that I did, so I mean, of course it would. And then, up until now, it has been Happy Thoughts, Daniel Tosh. This is only the third comedy special to have the crown for most laughs per second. I think it really earned the spot by, the editing, the interstitials, taking away a lot of the time speaking on stage, as well as, like the crowd work element, how, at least in my experience, when you're in a room either doing comedy or seeing someone do comedy, the crowd is often more likely to laugh and laugh harder and laugh more often, like I said, in my opinion, when they know for a fact that it's not planned. It just seems like it's a little bit more dangerous, like there's a little bit more tension, the stress is up, so the first crowd work special. I'm interested to track these crowd work specials versus normal specials over a long period of time and see if this is a trackable stat that really holds true. And if it is, who knows, maybe we'll end up breaking it down into crowd work special laugh track stats versus normal. We'll keep them separate as long as I'm not going to make that joke. Okay.